Alrighty. I think the stream is stable. Might as well start. Doesn't look like I have anybody watching me on Twitch yet, but that's alright. Half of this is just trying to get myself used to the process and get productive. Seems like somebody's watching me on YouTube if the stream's working. Hello there. Let's see. Is my editor actually getting to files? Looks like the answer is yes. Just downed a full espresso real quick to see if that'll kickstart my motivation a little bit. All right. Hey, how's it going, Slayer Darth? How's it going, Carl Fishy? Haven't seen you around these parts. Alright, I think I'll turn on my scene switcher so we can get to work. And everything's pretty much how I left it on Monday. I'm gonna spend some more time hacking on Firefox Color. And what I was working on last is trying to get background images, trying to wire up some support for reordering background images. I'm interested. One of the programming streamers has a community like minding programming streamers. Yeah, I would be interested in that. I'm still kind of feeling my way towards a schedule and doing this reliably, but yeah, I wouldn't mind hooking up with some other people who are doing the coding thing on Twitch. What was I watching this morning? I was watching, was it Nibbles.io? I think I saw you in the chat too, Slayer Darth. I've been trying to sit in on some other folks' coding streams to get a feel for how other people do it. Alright. Yeah, so this is where I left off. I just kind of left off abruptly trying to add some actions to reorder these backgrounds in the Redux store. And I believe I left it on a build error. Yeah, so... which is fine, because I just kind of stuck things in there. Dev sauce. I'll have to make a note of that. Cool. Yeah, I've noticed Nibbles has upwards into, like, I've seen him with almost 50 folks watching him before, which is kind of interesting. He's doing some cool stuff with that, what was it, base code language he's building. Yeah, it's funny because, like, I've been thinking I need to stream some of the stuff I did, like, this weekend, which was kind of like importing third-party libs, except that I feel like I glued them together in interesting and masochistic ways. But it is interesting to see someone doing kind of more raw computer science, like building a compiler. Alright, where were we with this thing? Oh, I know. So I'm working on the UI now. I wanted to add this custom background Redux action in here. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. Alright, let's clear the slates for a second, because one of the things I wanted to do, I'm getting really tired of the way I built these components. And my network file system's being a little slow today. So actually, yeah, as a warm-up, I think the first thing I want to do... Yeah, this is what I want to do. As my editor is responsive again, I'm going to move one of my little yak shaving to-dos to the top. Before I get too much further, I'm going to kind of refactor and dry out some things. Yeah, I mean, some of the coding streams, it's interesting to watch someone kind of work through learning something for the first time, and there's something to be said for gluing things together, but it's also more interesting to watch people kind of get into the weeds, and probably should do some streams outside of work hours, like actually digging into the source of things like React and whatnot, and see how they work and break them, and maybe make my own just for the exercise of it. Yeah, because I think I saw one of your comments on his stream was folks who learn React just because it's the popular thing, whereas I think it would be really interesting to look into React as why it's actually worth learning. And I don't want to get super elitist in like, you must learn the entire history of web dev before you learn this, but it would be interesting to see like, why is React a big thing, and why did jQuery fall out of favor, and because it's popular for a reason, and I kind of resisted it for a while, but I feel like I finally got React's religion, and it's my favorite thing now to build a website with, or at least to build a web app. Mostly because of the being able to do things with functional markup rather than, you know, twiddling markup with jQuery. But it's useful to kind of know a little bit of the history there of like, why are things done this way, and what kind of incremental conveniences came along the way to get us to where we're at. I mean, you don't have to go all the way down to fusing silicon from sand, but it would be interesting to like get down closer to bare metal to see why we have all these layers built atop things. Yeah, I feel like React is a lot easier to get into now because it seems more harmonious with ES6. It feels like earlier days of React were kind of fighting the language because it maybe didn't have all the facilities there that React really wanted. Ah, this is just not letting me open this file. Yeah, that's fair. If you're not going to find a practical use for it, why bother using it? I'm also kind of weirdly masochistic in where like I'll bang my head against a new thing just so I at least know a bit about it, even though I may end up hating it and never touch it again. There's some exceptions to that, though. One of the things I've been running into with this weird editing setup is I try to open a file and the wrong file opens. And part of my weird setup is I'm trying to edit files on a remote Ubuntu box in EC2 over SSH. You know what, I'm going to try something different. This thing might be giving me problems. I've got two different ways of editing at the remote file system. I've got this CLI thing called SSHFS, which I'm going to close now. And I also have SFTP net drive. And the main reason I'm trying to do this is because, oddly enough, my laptop seems to be too slow to run the build process currently while streaming. So I run the build process on a remote VM and edit locally. Let's see if this works. Yeah, I think it is a fair point to kind of avoid third-party stuff while you're trying to learn the fundamentals. I think that's totally fair. At some point I'm tempted to like spelunk into virtual DOM kind of things and try making my own React, not for any practical purposes, but just to kind of have a mental model of what it does. Like, I looked at the source code, but I can't say that I could like totally implement it from scratch. Oh, this is the wrong box. Give me that. I forget that when I restart an EC2 box, the public IP often changes because I haven't done anything to pin it. Find out where else I can. No, I can't get it from there. These are all things I should have done before starting up the stream, I guess. Oh well. But I guess it's valuable maybe to watch me stumble through my development process on stream, including all the stupid things I'm doing. And I'm manipulating the AWS dashboard or control panel off stage because I don't necessarily want to share all that stuff. Ideally, you shouldn't be able to get into any of my things if you see host names and things. But oh well. Guy who started DOSauce as a day job working at Microsoft. That wouldn't be... because the other guy I've been watching too is C# Fritz. I don't know if he's in that community too. Alright, are you going to start this time? Oh, good. Cool. So this other app basically mounts a drive letter as SFTP pointed at my remote dev box. I'm hoping that I can get to it. The one problem I had with SFTP earlier, or at least this app, was it seemed a little slower. I'm also semi-tempted to just log in to my remote Ubuntu box and just add it there. Yeah, the one thing I was trying to use is SSHFS in like a command line format, and then this is a different app. Wow, that really does not seem very fast. I don't know why. I've got a whole remote desktop connection working, and that's way faster. Yeah, it was handy when I wasn't... I don't know if the stream is taking away bandwidth or what, but it lets me mount via SSH a file system on the EC2 box. I also tried installing Samba on there, but I had trouble forwarding the ports, and apparently Comcast blocks the Samba ports, which is all kind of risky stuff to do anyways, but I figure I'm leaning on the security groups in AWS so that only my home IP can get to that machine. Yeah, maybe this is going a little faster now. Man, that just does not seem like very much data flowing very fast for this. Is that even less than a K a second this thing is sending? That might be my problem. Because the one thing I can do, I can go onto this remote desktop session and just launch... Can I launch NeoVim? No. I haven't spent a whole lot of time setting up this box for actual usage. I gotta make this font bigger. No. Oh, gooey fun. Helps when I can see what I'm doing, too. Let's bump that up one more point. So it's not as pretty, but I can at least get to my files, like, lightning fast. Is this thing not any faster? Yeah, no, this is just freezing up my machine. Well, maybe I'll try editing from remote for a little while. It does seem really weird if the remote desktop is way more responsive than my local editor trying to use a file share. There's something definitely wrong there, but I don't know that I want to troubleshoot it on stream. Versus, you know, maybe actually getting down to work. Yeah, so let's see. Since I was doing all that yak shaving, kind of lost my place. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. Okay, so the thing that I'm annoyed with my code right now. Oh yeah, this has gone much faster. So this is a thing I do right now, is I wanted to be more explicit in how I pass props through to components. And so when I started this project, I just named them all. Like all the way from the root. Well, I guess I don't actually name any props here at all. I do some kind of magic here in the root component. I'm going to drop that font size down 1 point. I can fit more. Oh, cool. I sent a message to Alec, who oversees DevSauce. Oh, thanks. Cool, yeah, I wouldn't mind hooking up with some more people who are doing like the code streaming thing and kind of get more involved in that. Alright, so here, this is my index.js. This is what fires up my whole app. This starts out pretty simple. I've got this, this is where I mount the app component, I wrap it in provider so it gets a hold of the Redux store, and there's only like, what, 7 props here? So cool, I've only got 7 props. But then, when I get into the app component, I do a few magical things. Like I take, I've got a bunch of Redux selectors. I just kind of automatically execute those and turn them into selectors. And that's a list of probably like 15 or so. I mean, you don't see the list of selectors here, so you have to go look in the store to see them, but it's basically I take all these selectors, turn them into props based on their name, automatically throw them into this prop, or in this set. I wrap some Redux dispatchers so I can dispatch actions in a pretty simple way. But then I name everything the app component expects. And I think this is a mistake. I think I could get away with a little more magic, because then I name all the expected properties here, and then I repeat them again when I pass them into each of the major subcomponents. And I think what I'm really feeling towards here is I should just wrap all these in a spread operator like ... props. And if I really want to enforce something here, I should introduce flow types or some kind of type checking here. Or I can just wing it, which is kind of what I'm doing already. So here's one of the things I can do. Hey, I am Digia. Yep, I'm in Detroit. Actually, within the city limits of Detroit. So yeah, one of the things I can do here... I'm probably going to break something by making a bad assumption, but I know, like, what I can do is... Actually, no, I don't need to name all these. What I need to do here Block from one campus, Marches Park. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm in closer to 8 Mile than downtown. Let's do this. So rather than destructure all these named properties, I'm just going to get rid of this whole block. And just simplify things a little bit. What do we got here? Yeah, okay. And so now what I could do... I almost hate to do this because this removes a lot of context, but I think it would be easier if I just did, like... Because I know all of these are coming in as props. And the only risk I have here is I'm sending these components more props than they technically need, but it isn't like it's hurting anything. I could back off from this later, but I want to see if I can simplify all this. This might be going too far in the direction of simplicity, but I'm just kind of... I'm tired. My motivation for this is I've added several props while I've been working on this feature, and I end up having to edit 5 files to thread the prop explicitly through each of the components of my hierarchy, and that just gets really tedious. Well, that's interesting. There are bits of Detroit that are pretty industrial, kind of like at the edges, but along Woodward is all pretty much like, there's like residential and a lot of stores. Downtown is pretty cool. Where I live near what used to be, well, I think they still call it the Avenue of Fashion, and there's a lot of kind of neat little stores and stuff around there. Yeah, downtown's got a lot of tech going on. Like I've been to, oh, where have I been? I've been to like the Madison building, and I've been in the, been by Detroit Labs and Grand Circus a bit for like different meetups and stuff. Haven't been out to there in a while though. I should come back out to some things. Yeah, when people picture the empty plants, they pretty much picture the empty plant, which is the Packard plant, which is kind of, along with the train station, are kind of the big ruin porn that people like to show when they talk about Detroit. There we go. I forget where I put that. Yeah, that will be interesting. I do remember hearing that Ford bought the train station. And the other story that I've been following a little bit is, I guess, like, over the decades, folks have kind of scavenged all the cool stuff out of the train station. And there were some news stories that came out recently that people are kind of anonymously coming out of the woodwork to return the things they've scavenged, so that as they rebuild the train station, they can restore some of the historic stuff. It's kind of a neat story. So it's funny to hear that. Like, people took it because they kind of wanted to do their own vigilante preservation of things and not just sell it to a scrapper. Well, you know, and or hang it up in their basement or garage or whatever. But it's neat that they're bringing some things back. Alright, I guess the fun thing will be after I've been kind of editing this if I have broken everything by stripping things out. I guess the other thing I can do too, can I do this full screen? I can't do this full screen. Yeah, this is on a remote VM right now. It's not using X11 forwarding, it's using, like right now I'm using Microsoft Remote Desktop, and that connects to XRDP, which is all kind of a Rube Goldberg machine thing, but it seems to, it oddly works better than the file system access I was trying to do. I'm kind of poking around with and getting caught up in trying to improve my my dev environment because my laptop is a little too weak right now. But it's kind of working. The weird thing is when I actually did X11 forwarding instead of remote desktop, that was even slower. Because I've got an X server running on Windows. Yeah, I was trying SSH and Vim. I kind of like having the graphical window, even though I guess I'm barely taking advantage of it. You know, I think half my thing right now is that I'm just like trying overcomplicated things, and for some reason that's fun. Oops. Yeah, I was using Bash for Windows, and I was running all my build and everything under that. But I found when I would stream, that ended up kind of being just a bridge too far for my CPU. So I fired up an EC2 box in Ubuntu, and I'm trying it there. And then, of course, that opened up all kinds of new opportunities for yak shaving. But if I'm not streaming, I can totally build everything at home just fine. Alright, well, I was able to format that, and there were no errors. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I wanted a package. Oh, you know, I thought I had Prettier installed with this. I don't. Well, I can fix that. I use Prettier a lot just because I'm lazy and I don't feel like neatly formatting all my code all the time. Let's see, what am I doing? Get myself lost in my they've been flopping around here. At some point I might get some more work done. Yeah, you know, I used to do most of my work in Python too, until like the last couple of years they've been almost exclusively JavaScript focused. There, this is what I want. I just wanted to copy this npm script over. Probably gonna hate myself for this. There we go. Someday I'll have all these environment things worked out, and the stream will just be pure work end to end. Oh yeah, Python is ancient. I actually used to be a big Perl fan back in the 90s. And I did a lot of web development in Perl back then, until I forced myself to learn the dreaded Python, since apparently the Perl and Python communities were some kind of frenemies back then. There was a async Python framework I was playing with back in like the early 2000s called Twisted. I haven't played with the current state of the art in async Python though. Oh, thanks for the follow, RCO Garcia. Oh yeah, when I was playing with async stuff in Python, it totally was not native yet. I have to play with some of that then. It was kind of like the whole... Got my brain wrapped around the async model years and years before Node came around. Oh, I know what I'm doing. Like, I remember there was another thing in Perl called PO Object Environment, and it was an async environment. And it was one of the first times I tried doing, like, database queries and long-running stuff and wondered why, when I did a long-running task, it froze up my whole server. Until I finally dawned on me, oh yeah, you have to do your own time slicing and whatnot and break tasks up so it can respond to other things and... Oh, computer, why are things so slow? Like, all I'm trying to do here is a little side yak shaving to get code formatting to work. It doesn't help when I break package JSON. Oh, what did I do? Yeah, I use IRSSI. It's been a while though. Actually, it's probably been since I played with Perl. What did I break in my package file? Somehow I broke that. How did that break? At some point, I guess I'll get back to the work I'm actually trying to do. Okay, so I saved that. So all I'm trying to do here is just add something from another project to format my code. There we go. Let's get that in there. And hopefully I haven't broken package JSON this time around. Wow. Well, that's fine. Oops. Cool. So that's all I wanted to do. So that made this file a little bit neater. I got rid of all the explicitly named props. I'm using ... props everywhere. That kind of simplifies a level of my component hierarchy where I was explicitly listing every prop that everything wants to use. And I broke a test along the way. I think I can fix that too. Maybe I'll just change this stream to just pure yak shaving. I don't get any work done. I just break and then fix the tools I broke. So there, of course, I broke one of my tests. Let's fix the test. That's what I broke, isn't it? Do I at least have passing tests now? Yes. It's just that Lint has gotten unhappy with the things I deleted, which is probably fair. Okay, so yeah, okay. I guess this is making it not dry again. Who cares? This is a good trade-off. But I'm glad I've got linting, because that's going to help point out things that I vanished from my code unintentionally. The descent into yak shaving is how you know it's real coding? Yeah. Actually, one second. I should bring my my yak shaving icon to my desk. This is the shaven yak. I should probably just keep it on my desk at all times for when I start getting into this. I'll set him back down on the desk. He'll keep me company. At least until the cats come by and knock him off the desk. I should probably point a camera on that thing. That is an official Ren and Stimpy toy I've had for close to 15 years. It's got a level of dust accordingly. Let's see, is linting any happier with me? Tests are passing. Oh, there's still some lint errors. And some other weird random errors. Save themes, yeah, that's an issue. I should probably destructure these into local variables so I don't repeat props everywhere. I should actually probably make the Shavaniac a mascot of this stream. No, I don't want to do that. Come on, show me the stuff. Oh, I do pass it in as a prop, alright. Yeah, I'm tired of repeating props everywhere, so let's do this. Maybe the title of my stream will officially be Descent into the Yak Shaving. Oh man, do I not have tab completion set up on here? Kind of trying to take some mental notes of what things maybe, what homework I should have done for next stream, so I don't spend the first 45 minutes of the stream screwing around with network connections. That's fine, that's fine. All right. Where else am I going with this? Storage. Oh, thanks for the follow, I am, did you? Yeah, storage comes in here. Can I access that? No, I broke it. Oh well. Oh, I know why that is. I didn't install... Alright, have fun with your code. Yeah. Oh well. We're not going to make that happen right now. Alright, where are we with this? Okay, so we also need... First run... Okay. Yeah, I guess a good compromise here is the props I know I'm going to use in this local component can destructure, and the rest I'll just send along. Maybe that's a good compromise for now. Let's see, is Linting any happier with me? Ooh, other things are unhappy. It's kind of obscuring errors here. Alright, so Lint is unhappy with a few things. Let's see, what is on 107? Yeah, okay. Yeah, and I know about the lint errors in this other component because that's some like unfinished work. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna comment that out for now so it stops being noise, and I will get back to that. Should turn off code folding too because I hardly ever use it now. There we go. No? Okay. You know what? Actually, I thought I could comment a block inside with that. Oh, I see. Those are braces. Hit it. Do this. These buttons, they do nothing for now. That should at least squelch the linting errors. Yeah, okay, so I'm now down just to one. I just like to see that the errors are gone. Trailing space, that is my least favorite of the linting errors. Trailing spaces are not allowed. .109, I don't even see a trailing space there, you bugger. Oops, well, now I have broken code. Watch as my horrible refresh rate is revealed. Let's see you now, linting. Seriously? Where are you finding this trailing space? Theme, cause oh, I'm looking at the wrong effing file. Line 109. Yeah, you got a trailing space. Screw you. Oh, I see. There's a function that's working. Okay. We're not working in this file for now. Linting should come back okay. Are you still finding it? Hey, you know what? How about you fix that for me? You're not going to do that? I just remembered ESLint will fix things for you. So how about... So here I'm adding an npm script to fix linting errors for me, because ESLint can fix some of them for you. Oh, not dicks, fix. It's just my subconscious speaking. Thank you. So how's linting look now? Aha, okay. You fixed my linting for me. Thank you very much. It's nice when the computer does work for you. And actually, while I'm at it... No vimrc? Are you kidding me? Okay. I don't want... that's what I'm looking for. Can we do that? Thanks. No more code folding for me. Still code folding. I thought I turned that off. Alright. Just kind of restarted to see if it would pick up my vimrc changes. I really didn't need to do that, but it seemed like it would be fast enough. Cool, no code folding, so I can just see the whole file. Alright, so I tried to simplify this functional component here and just kind of reduce it down to something that fit on one screen, because instead of these triple dot props, I explicitly listed out every single prop that these subcomponents wanted, and that was starting to get tedious when I wanted to add a new prop. No, that's not what I want. Let's just run the whole build. Format my code. That's a lot of files to edit. Why are you editing all those files? What are you doing? Oh my, why is the menu open? Go away, menu. Really? You get some modifiers stuck? There we go. That's a modifier stuck for some reason. There we go. I just did a little code formatting and broke that line up. Alright. So the next thing I want to look at... Actually, something's breaking. What is breaking? Oh, there's this weird thing that happens every now and then. When I make a change to package.json or I install something, it loses this font package I npm installed. I don't know why. It happens both. It happens on every machine I've tried with this, whether it's Linux or Windows or Ubuntu, or Windows or Linux or OS X. And I always just have to run npm install again. While it's doing that, let's peek at my music. I've been trying to come up with some favorites. There we go. Much better. Cool, no errors. Awesome. Now I guess the thing is, did I break the application itself? What do you look like now, Firefox color? Oh, can't connect. Why not? Am I looking at the wrong... I think I'm probably looking at the wrong host again. I'm totally not. Is it the wrong port? No. Oh, I know what I did. I need to... There we go. I have to start it with special particular environment variables to tell it what host to run from, because I'm exposing it to an external port rather than localhost, so I can get to it from my machine at home. So, let's try that. Oh man, I love this song on 64, especially this part right here. No? That's coming up in a minute. There's like a weird synth guitar solo coming up. Here it is. This is the command I want. Yeah, at one point when I was a kid, I taped that on a boombox and just played that little bit over and over and over again. Trying to figure out how to make the weird phase difference to make that sound on the SID chip. There we go. Now I gotta start it on everything. I had the wrong environmental variables. Now I have the right ones. After all that editing, the app is working again. While it's loading, I'm going to fiddle with my music because this song is just about over. Next song. This is a pretty cool Amiga mod. So, is my background image code working still? Did I break that in and amongst the refactoring? Ooh, that wasn't supposed to happen. How about now? Are you going to work now? There you go, thank you. So yeah, this is the feature I'm working on. As you can theme Firefox, set the colors for various UI elements, and then we want to add the ability to add your own background images. And I have nothing but terrible background images to use here. Like the most effective thing to demonstrate tiling is an image of my head, apparently. Save that theme. And so the feature I want to add now, once I get done with all this refactoring, is to make these up and down buttons do something. So you can reorder the list of background images. Just noticed this is going to bother me. My to-do list, background is a little funky. More yak shaving. There we go, good enough. Alright, so right now these up and down buttons, they do nothing. In fact, I think if I hit one, it'll probably break something. No, function does nothing. That's cool. Alright, so I saved that theme, so I should be able to get back to it. I simplified this component. The next component in my sites is gonna be custom background editor. Theme custom background. Oh, you're still JavaScript folding. Alright, so this component is what manages the list of custom background images. And when I last left it, the up and down buttons do nothing. But the work I did on Monday was to add the actions to my Redux store to support reordering the images. So, my task now that I'm done kind of refactoring and yak shaving is I want to get this reducer and its associated action working in the UI. Oh, and the reason I did that refactoring is because, okay, to back up a little bit, I added new action. I want to pass it up through the hierarchy of components so that that custom background editor can see that action. We have set custom background, clear custom background. What we do not have here yet is remove custom background. Yeah, okay, so all the way up here at the app component level, I'm gonna say move custom background, and also please stop typoing. I'm gonna say args. We're gonna pretend a cat is walking on my keyboard. And what I'm doing here, in kind of pre-wrapping all these actions, is, and I could probably dry this up with a helper function or something, but I'm modifying each of these actions on the way through to add a user edit flag to them because the user interface uses that meta flag to set off some other things to decide whether to indicate that there's an unsaved edit. So at some point I might dry that up with a little decorator or something. Very tempted to make that sometime now, but maybe I'll just continue moving on. Okay, so now the app component in map dispatch to preps is going to pass along that action creator. And it's going to pass it along to Theme Builder. And Theme Builder, in turn, is the next parent in the path to Custom Background Editor. And here's another component where I did all this explicit listing. So I may spend a moment to refactor this too. Just kind of getting tired of all this verbosity. Yeah, so each of these components could probably just take a triple dot props. So yeah, screw it, I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to cause a bunch of linting errors, but the linting errors will guide me towards fixing it. And so by just switching to a triple dot props with the spread operator, I can just yank all this out because I know these values are coming in from the parent's props. And I also feel less icky about doing this because like these components will never be used in isolation from this hierarchy. But here I have encountered some props that are going to be used locally, so I'm going to do this. This is a pretty cool song. It's the theme to one of my favorite Sega Genesis games, Musha, which is like apparently super hard to get an original copy of, and I don't own one. I play it on emulator. Let's see what else we need. We also need... We do not need those because we can just do... Priops? Props. Has extension. Okay, we're gonna need that. For some reason my tab completion isn't working. That's really bumming me up. So this is stripping all kinds of lines from my code, which hopefully makes it easier to understand. It'd be nice if I could fit each component on a single screen in the editor. Dun, dun, dun. How do we do this? Destructuring these strips away some context, but this might be a good trade-off. It's also been a while since I looked at some of this code. Alright, well that really shrank the code behind this component. In fact, now I think the entire file fits on one screen. Where before it was probably 3 or 4 screens long. And in fact, I wonder if I could simplify that further. This theme save button wants that one storage thing. Yeah, what if I did this? Then I can do this. I just move the destructuring. Simplifies things a little. Yeah, I think conceptually this is alright, because these are just kind of dedicated subcomponents of this component. They'll never be used outside of this context. And I think my app is still building fine in the background. Let's see, am I missing any errors? I am missing a few linting errors as I'm doing this, so let's fix those real quick. Trailing space. Storage is assigned a value but never used. Yeah, but I deleted that, right? No, I didn't. Okay. good to mind the linting errors. Theme is not defined at line 18. Ah, yeah, because I want to... Let's do this. Keep it simple. What else we got? Missing semicolon on line 38. I think you are... Yeah, you're correct. Alright. Oop, not under command. Try that again. Okay. What about now, linting? No errors, tests passed. Site is building. Site is refreshing. Ideally, all the work I just did should have no visible effect. And yet I deleted dozens of lines of code, or a dozen or so lines of code right now. I just realized the song has no duration and will not end. Are we good to go to the next one? Alright, so I did not break the app after all that. What else we got? Okay. So, continuing on. Simplified the root app component by getting rid of all those explicitly named props. Twitch suddenly thinks I'm offline according to the stats. I don't believe you. Okay, now it thinks I'm online again. Computers, they always lie to you. Alright, so from here, okay, so this is... It's only 2 parents deep. But now I'm finally back to the actual component I want to work on. And like I was saying, what I want to add... I threaded through all the props and the action creators. I want to use this move custom background action down here in the custom background picker. So move custom background. That's wrapped from my Redux store. No, you stay there. You come back. Before I close this file, did I break anything? No? Okay, good, thank you. Let's peek at the store again, just to refresh my memory on what this action does. This is the action in question. Well, the reducer that's gonna receive the action, or that's listening for the action. So it takes new index, old index. So what I'm gonna do... Each of these backgrounds have an up and down button. Eventually this is going to be drag and drop, but for now it's just up and down buttons. Because I just want to get the mechanics working. So what I want it to do is if you hit up, it's going to try to go to its index -1. If you hit down, it's going to go to its index +1, and I don't know why this keeps flipping states. Please stop flipping states. Okay, so say this is index 1. If I hit down, it'll say move from index 1 to index 2. If I hit up, it's going to say move from index 1 to index 0. If it's already at the extreme ends, it should do nothing, and or I should just not show these buttons, but eventually be drag and drop, so that's a more natural user interface. So for now, I'm just going to naively hook these up. So I've got my props coming in. This props Yes, that's fine. You know, this could be a, this doesn't need to be a class anymore. Let's do a little side. Yeah, let me do a little refactoring here real quick too. So one of the nice things about the newer versions of React is everything doesn't have to be a class. It can just be a function. And since once upon a time this class maintained state, it does no longer, so I could kind of simplify it. Strip out a lot of code. This is a pretty cool cover. Yeah, so that can nuke most of that verbosity. And I think I didn't break anything with that. It's nice to lead on tests and linting to tell me whether I broke things. What are we doing? There we go. I want to export that. I don't remember, do I have export default in here? Yeah, I do. Okay. Just kind of doing a little light refactoring. That should have fixed whatever I just broke. Does lint agree? I think lint agrees. Cool. Yeah, so basically this particular module has two components in it, only one of which I export. And the one I export just composes of 3 background editors. Hey Slayer Darth. Glad to see you still lurking. Yeah, a lot of times if I'm not actually trying to stream myself lately, I'll have some coding streams on in the background. I work from home, so sometimes it kind of feels like I'm in a co-working space if I have someone else's coding stream on. Although, in a co-working space, everyone isn't talking to themselves all the time about what they're working on. Some other refactoring I want to do here, because this is bugging me. These 3 binds could be replaced with class properties, but I haven't hooked up the Babel transpilation plugin for that yet. I don't think I want to do that right at this particular moment, though. What else are we doing? The position of this bothers me. That looks cleaner. Alright, so I'm gonna hook up these up and down buttons. This gets an event. I don't care about the event. You've been hit by, you've been struck by a smooth. This is a fun little mod. I think I'm gonna skip it though. Back in the days when we did not have MP3s, we had Amiga mods and chiptunes. That was fun for someone to make a cover with samples from the original song. Let's see. Yeah, this props. I did handle tiling change, handle. I've got an empty, yeah, here we go. Handle move. I put an empty handler in here. Let's bind it. I bound that handler. And here I want to say, you know, I don't even know that I needed to bind that. I know what I could do. How about this? Yeah, why don't we do this? Because I have access to the index here. So I can do a little currying, I think is the term here. I can partially apply this function. Let's get rid of that. And I'll move up and I'll move down. I might change my mind on this later, but who knows. Makes that simple. And then I can just do this. Kind of makes the JSX simpler if I can move a lot of the logic elsewhere. Like I didn't do it here, but I really should have, I think. Oh well, we'll get to that. And then down here in handle move, maybe, yeah, you know, I don't need the event, do I? I don't care about the event. So... but what did I just do? Don't do that. Okay, so... I want to say... move custom background. Let's destructure that out of this. Not that. This. Props. I could say... normally I have tab completion for this, but for some reason it's not working right now. I don't know. Oh, I know. I think I know why. I bet tab completion doesn't work on anything around here right now. Oh well, I'll get to that. Alright, so... here we say new... old index is our index. New index is new index, so we don't need to change that. Yeah, so I'm going to be fancy here and say, which simplifies that object, literal. Is that all I need to do? I feel like that might be all I need to do with the background work I just did. Yeah, right. Okay. No linting errors. Oh, there's some linting errors. Handle up, handle down, not defined. Okay. I know why. I didn't destructure them here. How about that? Tell me what's good, linting. Yeep. Where is this settings file I was editing earlier for my X Windows environment? That it was disabling tabs. Alt tab, super tab. Yeah, you know what I'm gonna do? That last build looked fine. I'm gonna reset my remote desktop real quick and see if I can get tab completion back, because that is just really annoying. Let's close Vim. Let's close this terminal. Let's close Firefox, and then I probably didn't need to manually close all that. Let's log out. That's going to close my remote desktop session. That's fine. The build worked. My EC2 box is still up. The site is reloading. Yeah, it's loading, okay. Let's connect to this remote desktop again. I got some more homework to do between now and the next stream to try to get my development environment to run more smoothly. Alright. I'm gonna type my password, don't watch. It's Hunter23. Oops. Maybe that'll work better. Should just put that on the desktop or something. What was one of the last commands I did? Is that it? Yeah. It's a little funny that doing things on a computer that's probably in California is faster. Excuse me. Faster than doing things on my local laptop. Alright, that's where I was with that. Let's go back to our browser. Got a little bit of a frog in my throat. I should probably go get some water. Unfortunately, right now, the water to my house is off because there is a water main break right out in front of my house. Alright, so does up and down work? Oh, it works. Sort of. Oh, I know what's going on. The one thing I don't do in React right now is I'm not retaining the file name in anything I'm showing here. But it does look like my up and down buttons are working. So I can say, take this middle image and throw it all the way up to the top. Might have broken it. I don't know. Let's try that again. The one thing I didn't do is I'm not doing any bounds checking. So if I try to move the last image down, it has nowhere to go. So, okay, so if I take this middle image, which is my glorious forehead, and move it up, it should take over the whole browser. Of course, there's no visual transition, so what I just clicked on just moved. So my forehead is taking up the whole screen. I move it down. I guess you can tell which image is which by the sizes. So, okay. I guess that means that my current to-do is done. So actually I finished 2 to-dos already. I finished this one and I finished this one. Ah, okay, so this is what I can do next. So if you're playing at home, my to-do list up there in the corner should be reflecting what I'm up to now. And actually, I kind of did this last to-do. So I guess I'm kind of on my last to-do that I have for myself so far. Nice. But I guess I can continue forging ahead. Oh, and I just realized I'm back in my local editor, and things seem to be mildly responsive again. He says as he clicks on a thing and nothing happens. Okay. Back to the remote desktop. This might give you a little vague vertigo because this is my local laptop version of Vim, and this is remote desktop Vim. The magic of Vim is I can share my config files to the remote machine and it looks almost exactly the same. Alright, so I got the up and down buttons working. How about... You know what, I think I can add the bounds checking here. Though it's starting to get... No, not there, not there. Well, maybe there. Well, I'm passing all of props. Okay. Yeah, I can do it here. So one of the props I pass in is the entire set of background, so it does have access to the bounds. You know what, I'm going to add another thing, because I'm doing a little too much in the JSX. I'm going to take this, a little bit here, and add a handler. Just to move that out of the JSX. So I can say... Yeah, that simplifies the JSX a little bit. I guess I do want the EV. And of course I have to bind it up here because I haven't gotten that thingy working yet. Which, I don't know, maybe that'll be, that might be one of the next tasks I try to do after I try to add image previews. A little more refactoring. Let's see, so I bound that handler. I'm using that handler. I did not destructure that handler. This is a little not dry. Oh well. Hey look, my tab completion works. Sweet. Okay. Handle clear background, handle clear background. Handle clear background. Okay, now I want to do bounds checking here. So another thing I can grab from props is theme custom backgrounds. And what I want to say is if the new index is, I don't know, somehow less than 0, bugger off. Let's not do anything with it. If the new index is greater than theme background's length, also bugger off. So there's a little bit of bounds checking here. It'd be nice if there was a little bit of animation, but I'll get to that at some point. The UI for this is totally ugly, but we do have someone else on the team who is working on a much better UI design for this. I'm mostly myself just trying to get the underpinnings for this to work, so that it'll be a lot easier for us to play around with the styling and the UI when we get to it. So it appears I did not break things, although clear custom background is not defined. Why? I may have broken something. Line 39. What's going on line 39? Clear custom background. That's an action. It's not used there. Oh, I must be importing it in the wrong spot. Oh, I know what I did. Never mind. I refactored. Stop recording. Thank you. What line is that again? Line 116. Yeah. I refactored this code, but didn't bring the variables with it. What do you think about that? You seem happy with that. Cool. Page is reloading. Page reloaded. Can bring in my save theme. My computer is not happy with the work I'm making it do. My images are back there. What'd you just do? It broke. Why'd you break? I gotta figure out what that unhandled promise rejection is. I keep seeing it, and I think it has to do with the stuff I'm doing to encode the theme as a shareable URL, which is a thing that is not feasible once I start putting large images in. In fact, I've got it disabled here, but there must be some leftover code somewhere that's still trying to encode a URL. But I'll get to that. The down button works. Down button works. Down button works again. Will down work if it goes off the end of the thing? It should do nothing. Should do nothing. Okay. How about up? If it's already at the top one, will it go any higher? No? No? Good. How about down? Down works. Down works again. Cool. So I can successfully move backgrounds. So since I did that, you know what? I'm going to take a slight detour to my to-dos. I'm going to try to look for that promise rejection error right now because I feel like it's causing me some performance issues or something. Something's a little awry. So I don't remember. I don't think I have source maps enabled. Maybe I do. But let's see. What is this error telling me? So it's in my update history middleware. I know where that's at. So one of the things I do in this project is every time the theme is modified, it's encoded as a URL and sent into the URL bar history. So if I don't have images, forget about the images feature for now. This is actually kind of a neat feature, I think, of this project. I pick a theme. It is expressed as a URL. Now, if I go to, say, Chrome, which is decidedly not Firefox, I can preview this theme. So even though this is Firefox color, it's meant for editing themes on Firefox. You can share a theme with a friend. And of course it comes with a nice little call to action to join us in Firefox land. But also, this is just a web app, so you can still play with the theme on Chrome. So that's kind of fun. You can make as ugly a theme as you want to. Kind of Halloween colors. The one thing it won't do, of course, is it will not apply the theme to Chrome. So you have to use Firefox to get that theme feature. But when we're dealing with these images that I'm doing, those images end up being too big to express as a URL. So I have to disable this feature as soon as I pick a theme that has images. So now that part is disabled. But I'm getting these errors in the background, which makes me think, I have not, in fact, disabled URL encoding of themes everywhere I should have. I'm going to go look at my Redux middleware. My Redux middleware lives down here. So backing this is a Redux app, or a React and Redux app. The Redux data store handles a bunch of things. And my update history middleware is right here. I see, I think, what's going on here. So what I think I want to have happen is, so I've got two bits of middleware here. One, URL encodes the theme and sticks it in the browser history. The other sends it to the Firefox plugin or the Firefox add-on that actually modifies the browser theme. I want it to do that. I don't want it to update the browser history necessarily. I've got a selector for this, don't I? Do I import it? Selectors, yes I do. Okay, so what selector do I have to tell me if I have backgrounds? I do believe it's called... Where are my selectors? Where are my selectors at? Here we go. Theme has custom backgrounds. Okay, so make way. I'm going to do some editing. Let's see, I've got my get state, selectors, theme. There we go. Okay, how about I do this? Let's get ourselves some state. And this is the wrong middleware. Let's go down to middleware. Let's get ourselves some state. Let's, because we're going to reuse it. So let's only call that once. Selectors, theme has custom backgrounds. Yeah, so what I want to do is say if don't do this if I have custom backgrounds. Yeah. See if that fixes my error. I think... Yeah, I've been streaming for a little over 2 hours and 45 minutes. Probably gonna go for another 15 minutes or so and call things to a close. So I may not get to that last to-do, which is cool. I actually like leaving myself a to-do or two to get to next stream. So what do we got left here? Looks like my last build did not have an error. I guess that means this worked. I'm always kind of skeptical when I make a change and I don't break something. Okay, so let's see if I actually broke something in the web app. I need a better computer to work on. I mean, the other thing I could do, I'm viewing this in my local browser. I could just view it in the remote machine also. Can only update a mounted or mounting component. This means you called set state yada yada. What? Theme URL? What? Oh, there's a cat. Buddy. You want to be on a stream? You want to be on the internet? Alright. Cattail. How you doing, buddy? Hopefully you don't see a cat butt on the stream, that's lewd. Okay. It looks like I did not in fact break my thingy. And it looks like that error is gone. I do wonder what the heck is going on with this error now, though. I totally dig this song. This song is from an Amiga demo I remember from back in the day. I think it might have still been in high school. It was a super awesome demo. If I'm remembering what it is. Hey, Theme Hero, why did you... I forget where this is. No. Where is that at? Oh, it must be in that component. Theme URL component. Yeah, okay. Now we're done with this split. Well, there it is. Oh, I think it might be because that's async and the page may have reloaded. Let's see if that error happens again when I reload. Here we go. No error so far. That makes me happy. Okay, the error didn't happen again. So I think what probably happened is a little cat ear. Hello, cat. This guy's named Catsby. I think what happened is I probably reloaded the page while it was in the middle of something, so it was just bad timing. Alright. So I think I just finished the current to-do. Let's fiddle with it a little bit more. Ooh, just bumped the mic. Sorry, folks. Okay. Let's reload the page and pick a theme. Oh, you're so slow, browser. Okay, here we go. So this is a theme with no images. Yes, hello, kitty. How are you doing, buddy? I clicked on a theme, it loaded the theme. That's cool. Even the hot dog stand theme works. I need to get a cat cam in here. Okay. Let me pick some images. I'm gonna pick... Yeah, you love my laptop, don't you? Just don't chew on my laptop. Because that has happened. You know what? I want to repeat my head in the background there. I'll pick another image here. So far so good, that error has not come back. My sorting works. Yeah, looks like everything's working. Alright. So, I'm gonna try not to cough into the mic. I'm gonna call this to-do done. And you know, I got 5 minutes before 2 hours. I'm gonna try one more thing. I'm gonna stop my phone from ringing. I'm gonna look at this component again. So I wonder if I can do this real quick. So I got this little paragraph here. It's showing the length of the image, but what if I do this? Do. How about that? Is that gonna break anything? There's a cat butt. There's the cat butt. Alright, so no errors. Reloading. Please don't sit up. No errors, so far so good. Now let's see how it looks when I load images. Hey! That worked far better than I had any reasonable expectation. How about we do this? Let's make them real tiny for now. Like, I don't know, just big enough to know what they are. I don't have. I need to set up hot module reloading. That would be much nicer for this, because then I don't need to reload the page when I tweak one component. You know what? I'm not going to do that today, but how about for next stream? So I've done all these to-dos. I can delete them. Let's do that next stream. But I think I may have just finished my last to-do I meant to do for the stream. No, I didn't want to delete that. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Well, that's alright. I can do a more complete run-through as I wrap up. I picked a preset theme. I'm going to modify this theme. Let's add my forehead, because it's the most effective way to demonstrate tiling. Look at that forehead. So shiny. I'm going to add 2 more images, but they're obscured. That's cool. So it does look like what I did is working. So let's shift my forehead down to make room. Awesome. So there's no animation, but now that I added the background, or now that I added the previews in there, you can tell which image is which. And the reason I can do that is because these images, and this is actually part of my performance issues, these images are stored as data URLs in the Redux store. That's kind of ugly, and it might be part of why my computer is so slow, but you can kind of see what this data looks like. And you can see all the actions I'm taking against the data store there using the Redux tools, and maybe I reloaded it a little prematurely, but you can see all the data change actions that are flowing into Redux here in this dev tool. Kitty. How are you doing, Kitty? Alright, let's do this again. I'm gonna pick a theme. You'll see the data action show up. Even though it's slow. Set a new theme. Pick a new picture. Cool. This is working way better than I thought it would. Except I don't know what just happened. I think, oh, you know what it is? It's my computer's being super slow, and the web page talks to an add-on, and if it takes more than, say, like 3 seconds since the last time the web page heard from the add-on, it decides that the add-on has been uninstalled. Do you need to talk on stream? Do you have something to say? Oh, cool. So it looks like that bit of everything is working. I want that to go down. Down, down, down. Yeah, see, it took like 3 seconds. It thought the add-on is gone. Now it thinks the add-on's back. That's annoying. Okay. So that's all working. Oh, come on, quit doing that. Hey, buddy. Okay. Well, in between now and next stream, I'm gonna do a little homework to see if I can't get my computer to be more responsive. But I'm gonna say this to-do is done. You know, and actually, since I didn't... This is kind of maybe a better way to conclude the stream. I didn't need to delete all those, so this is what I got done this stream. This is what I'm going to do next stream. So, in today's stream, I did a bunch of refactoring. I got rid of a bunch of explicit prop naming I was doing in places. Really reduced the length of a bunch of components. I completed the web UI side for reordering my backgrounds. I tracked down a kind of an elusive promise rejection error that's been coming up. And then just now, I added some previews so you can see what images were uploaded. That seems to be working pretty well. So for next time, I'm going to do a little more homework. Actually, no, add it to my to-do list. I'm going to try to make this process a little smoother. Doo-doo-doo. So I think that's gonna about do it for my stream today. I'm gonna try to come back on Friday. Probably around the same time, 3 p.m. Eastern. And we'll see how that goes. For everybody who's stuck around for most of it, thanks for coming by. Hope to see you again. Thanks for the follows. Hope you've enjoyed the chiptunes and Amiga mods, if nothing else. Maybe you'll see another appearance of my cat next time. But for now, thanks for coming by. Cheers. Hope to see you next time.